Hi guys, follow me on Instagram to never ever miss any of my crazy updates. Hi guys and welcome to another vlog. I'm driving this. This is the Hyundai Alcazar, and you know this button actually lets you turn on the car remotely. Yes, both for manual as well as automatic. And there it is, the Alcazar. Straight away we are going to be opening the engine bay of this vehicle, and there it is. Oh my god, this is heavy. Okay, this is very heavy. And it says DOHC 16V 16 valve. Obviously this is a petrol engine. There's insulation right there, and engine bay actually seems kind of empty in spite of the massive 2-liter engine. Now of course this is the 7-seater version of the Creta, and looks like a Creta. Is actually a bigger version of the Creta. It's actually 40 mm taller, but the width is the same. The length has increased by 200 mm. The wheelbase has increased by 150 mm, and the length is now 4.5 meters. But there are a lot of changes to differentiate it visually. First and foremost, you get this new grille with this treatment. Lot of chrome on this car. You can see that chrome almost everywhere. You get a front camera, front parking sensors as well, and the bold Hyundai logo right there. The lights remain more or less the same. This actually looked to me like a headlight washer, but it is not. Okay, LED lights. This is the DRL. But the fog light is also LED. However, the indicator is not LED. You get this chrome surround for the fog light, which actually looks difficult to actually notice also because it's so lower down. There is the towing hook of the vehicle, and they finished the lower half of the bumpers in silver to give it sort of a skid plate like a look-alike. Anyways, coming to the side, like I was telling you, it is longer, and in order to ensure that it doesn't look out of proportion, they've increased the size of the wheels. So yes, it does look little ungainly on that side. However, it now runs on 18-inch wheels. The tire size happens to be 215/55 18s. Okay, the alloys seem to be a little overdone with a lot of black and silver and whatnot. However, the wheels actually look quite nice. Says auto because it's an automatic. Now you see there's a camera here, of course, because it gets a 360-degree parking camera, and there's a logo projector which projects the Hyundai logo down on the floor at night. You get chrome door handles with a request sensor only on the driver's side, not on the co-driver side, and a side footstep which is kind of small and not really very functional as such. Okay, in terms of design, well, it looks like an elongated Creta without a freaking doubt. It gets roof rails as well. Just going to climb and see that. Yeah, roof rails, big panoramic roof, shark fin antenna, and yeah, black colored B pillar. Sorry, A, B, C. Every pillar is finished in black, sort of to give you a floating roof appearance as well. Okay, coming to the rear, it will definitely remind you of the Ford Endeavour as well as the Tata Hexa. The lights like get the LED treatment. But the indicator is not LED, neither is the reverse lamp, not LED. However, the brake light is LED, but the lights are so similar to the cars I just mentioned. There's this chrome sort of finish. It says Alcazar right there, and there is of course the reverse parking camera. It gets reverse parking sensors, and this thing has been finished in again sort of it's actually plastic. Okay, this is plastic. You got dual exhausts right there, and below here you get the spare wheel, which is neither an alloy nor a full size one. Okay, so you can see the underbody of the vehicle. Now the overall design at the rear is very different from the Creta, which is actually a good thing. You get a rear spoiler along with a high mounted stop lamp. Let's open the boot of the vehicle, and there it's not an electric tailgate, disappointingly though. The boot carrying capacity is actually 180 liters, which is decent with all the rows up, and there's storage space here as well. There's a light along with a hook. Okay, subwoofer. So yes, Hyundai is actually giving it a lot of features which you were expecting with the Creta, because the China spec model had a lot of features. Now before I get and recline the seats, let me show you here what we can do. Okay, firstly, this is all the way behind, and this is also completely reclined. You get this soft pillow which is very premium. Seats are very nice. It says ISOFIX right there. Okay, in order to tumble it is so easy. Press this button. All right, it's not going to happen right now because my driver seat is a little behind, so I need to push the driver seat ahead. Now of course the driver seat gets the electric adjust. However, the co-passenger seat does not get the electric adjust, so you have to ensure that the seat is not too behind, otherwise the middle row is not going to fold at all, so they have to be careful in that regard. But it's a one-touch tumble. It's so easy. There you see, there it tumbles, and you can easily walk inside. Now the last row of seats are best for children or for adults who don't want to go for a long journey. For a short distances, it's completely fine, and you have to obviously move the middle row a little ahead to compromise on the leg room at the third row. But under thigh support is of course poor, because what, let me try and sit here and show it to you. Now when I'm like sitting here, you see under thigh support is very much lacking. There's a USB charging socket right there. AC vents at the rear. What is this? I don't even know that. Okay, this is for the seat belt. Now there is a cup holder right there. There's storage space here as well, and you can slot in your seat belt properly there as well. Now this glass actually brings in some amount of light, and there are lights on the top as well. Here is of course another USB charging socket along with AC controls. Yeah, so you can control the air conditioning from here. Storage space, again, that is a nice touch, but it is not comfortable at all. I mean, just look at it. My head is almost touching the roof. It is actually completely touching the roof and leg room is just not there. Neither is knee room. Under-thigh support is also very poor. So best for children, rather get the 7-seater, so you at least can see 3 people here and recline this for added boot carrying capacity. In fact, I'll just show you here behind the seat, and there not much leg room as such, but that's something which is very much expected from any 7-seater right now, especially for a tall passenger like me. I just cannot fit in there. I'm so sorry. Okay, let's put this back into place. Now you can move the seat ahead or behind, of course, yeah, with that lever. The door pockets are actually big enough. You get this silver sort of treatment, and of course this nice treatment, sort of, you know, brownish, maroonish, whatever. Like, I kind of feel colorblind right now. And there's a massive sun blind which is manually retractable to cut the sun. Now what you're going to do is we are going to increase the boot carrying capacity, which means nothing, just I need to push this like this and there it goes down. It's like a one-hand job. It's that easy. Yeah, there you see. Now you see the boot is massive. Well, that's what you said. I do believe there should have been an electric tailgate for sure. Why do I need to put in so much effort to close the boot? With so many features in this car, electric tailgate should have been offered without a doubt. Now, good thing is that the doors actually open really wide. Okay, not Tata Ultros wide, but still very wide indeed. And it's easy to get in and out. I can recline the seat as much as however I like here. I'm going to do that. Recline the seat. You can move it behind. There's this lever here. Now you see there's good amount of leg room and knee room. Yeah, there's actually very good amount of leg room and knee room in the second row. Very impressive. Under-thigh support is also actually decent enough, and headroom is also pretty nice and impressive. Okay, let's close the door. Listen to this. Yeah, shuts with a proper thud. The thing is that the door is really very long. Now, there is a tray right there. Okay, it gets this holder sort of thing, so you can keep your laptop or anything of that sort, or eat your food as well. That's a nice touch. Now, it doesn't get a scooped out seat back, but there are magazine holders. There's storage space here along with a USB charging socket, and of course AC vents as well. Now, there are no AC vents on the top or on the B pillar, but the seat belts do get the height adjust function. It gets 6 airbags as well. There's a handle, there's a light placement right there, okay, on both the sides. Same is the case. So the second row is actually very nice, but you know what, the cabin is not really wide because it's the same size as the Creta in terms of width. So that's a little disappointing, but it has class leading wheelbase. There's storage space here. There's a wireless charging pad right here in the second row as well. 2 cup holders, you can say that. Below the second row center armrest, there's storage space as well. So it's a very comfortable car in the second row without a doubt. Alright, you can see the dashboard design. Of course, it reminds you of the Creta, and there's a massive panoramic roof as well, which brings in a lot of airy feeling inside the cabin. But the second row definitely gets a thumbs up from my side. The third row, not really. Okay, it could have been better, but then, you know, we are playing with a car which is actually a Creta which has been elongated, so don't expect much space. Okay, it says signature variant, so they have also renamed the variants in this car. Now, getting to the first row, this is where things are very exciting because it's got so many features. First and foremost, the seats are extremely comfortable. Expectedly, in a Hyundai car, you get very comfortable seats, and these are the usual controls for the power windows. This is to lock or unlock the car, or rather the doors, and this is for the outside rear view mirror adjustment. You press a button, you can close the rear view mirror if you so wish. Bose sound system, but you know what, plastic quality really on the hard side. So yeah, it's the same as the Creta. Unfortunately, could have been slightly more premium considering the positioning of this car. Okay, you can see that happening. Okay, yeah, I'm closing the door there. Now the thing is, the dashboard design looks more or less the same as a Creta, without a doubt, right? However, there are changes. You see, the color treatment is different, but hard plastics plenty. And this is a cool glove box as well. There's a wireless charging pad here. There's a USB, 2 USBs and a 12-volt charging socket. So Hyundai is actually giving this car a lot of charging options, which is very impressive. Twin cup holders. Okay, this is actually some scent or perfume right now, but cup holders right there. This is for the ventilated seats, so ventilated front seats. Very nice. I love it because they work really well. Cool the seats in no time at all. And below the front center armrest, there's storage space here as well. Now this is obviously for the air purifier. Okay, this is for the air purifier. Let me just cover it so you can see the display. Okay, it actually keeps getting locked, which is very frustrating. Can't you just have a default setting of not having it locked at all? So we get into auto healthy air. Okay, and turn it on. Turn off the lock setting there, and see, there it is, the air purifier, which is a nice touch. Obviously, I'm going to turn it off because it's making some amount of noise. Now this is a 10.25 inch screen. So is this screen a 10.25 inch screen. It's a digital, like both of them are digital. In the Creta, you get a 7-inch screen here with analog, you know, on the side. But this is completely digital. Looks really very nice and fantastic. We'll come to that in a bit. Now let me show you something. This is the parking sensor button. This is the headlight leveler. This is the traction control button, and this is the engine start stop button. The steering wheel is adjustable both for reach as well as rake, which is obviously expected at this price point. And there is a mirror here, but there is no light right there, which is very disappointing. I expected light here because there is no mirror on this side, and there's a toll receipt holder, but we have got fast X, so we don't need it anymore. There's sunglass holder here. I get sunglasses for free. I love that. All right. There's light placement here on the top, of course. And let's open the sunroof of the car, and there the sunroof opens. I love the fact they've given it a massive panoramic roof. The roof is so big. It's so big.
That's what she said.
They're bringing so much light inside the cabin, which is fantastic and gives it a very premium feel as well. Only thing is, they're kind of messed with the buttons of the operation of the sunroof. When you're closing the sunroof, the sunblind also closes, and vice versa. Oh, there it's closing. Now I'll show you something which I have struggled with the Creta as well. Okay, if I want to open this, I have to press it very softly. Okay, now I hope I've pressed it right so that the sunroof does not open. Yeah, the sunroof did not open. If you don't press it right, now the sunroof will also open. So these controls should have been separate, like how they've obviously done with the Tata Safari and the Harrier. Okay, these are the controls for the various connected car features. This is SOS, towing, and BlueLink. This is an auto dimming inside rear view mirror. Now it gets connected car tech known as BlueLink with more than 60 connected car features. However, it's not activated on the car right now, which is kind of disappointing. But you know what? It also opens the sunroof if you tell the system that you want to see the skies, which is very much like how MG had actually promoted it on the Hector. So yeah, Hyundai is taking a page out of MG's marketing book. Anyways, these are the buttons for the audio system. This is for phone call, obviously, and this is for voice commands. This is obviously for this particular screen and also for the cruise control system. So here you can browse through various information. There's a compass, okay, tire pressure monitor, and usual information which you can browse through. Like you can go down and up, and there's a digital speedometer, driver information, and whatnot. Now this cluster is really very nice and very impressive indeed, because the full digital unit feels super duper awesome. Now if I give the right indicator, you see blind spot monitor turns on to show me what's on my blind spot on the right side, and if I give a left indicator, it does it on the left side, basically replacing the tachometer and the speedometer respectively. Okay, and there's also a driver rear view monitor. We'll come to that in a bit. First, let's get into the reverse camera. Okay, this is the reverse parking camera, and there's a 360-degree view as well, in which you can zoom in and zoom out. Okay, and there are multiple views for the reverse parking camera as well, including side views. So they've done a great job with the camera for sure. And there is of course a driver rear view monitor, which I will turn on while driving the car. Now we have got physical buttons for a lot of these functions, which is a good thing, including for navigation. Navigation works really very nice. You can just navigate wherever you feel like. Okay, let's get into map. It's actually a very slick unit. The system is very very nice and impressive. I love it. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's just browse through some interesting stuff, which is getting to settings. And first and foremost, I'm going to get into vehicle, because I want to show you the lights. And it's got ambient lighting. Guess what? The colors are, yeah, you guessed it right, 64 colors for the ambient lighting in this car. Oh my god, Hyundai's done a Mercedes-Benz here. Alright, let's get back, because I want to show you another cool thing, which is the instrument cluster of this car. Now the cluster has themes, alright, which I've linked to the drive mode right now, but I'm just going to unlink it to the drive modes here, unlinked, and just check this instrument cluster. Okay, let's get into theme A. Look at that, guys. That is so freaking cool. That's amazing how it works. Oh, I love this theme D, but it's not linked to any drive mode, so you have to actually manually select it from the screen, of course, from the infotainment system. Right? Lovely, right? Awesome, fantastic. Okay, let's do one thing. I want to show you a few more cool things, of course. First and oh my god, I dropped the camera. First and foremost, this is the electric parking brake. This is the auto hold function, and this is the drive mode selector, which if you press, you can also get into traction mode, snow, sand, and mud. And we press it and you get into drive mode. See here, press switch. Fantastic. And you know what, the navigation actually shows display here as well. So a lot of attention to detail everywhere in this car. Steering feels nice to it, gets the flat bottom treatment, and of course you've got paddle shifters as well. These are the controls for the lights. Yeah, these are the controls for the lights as well as indicators, and you see every display is there. So what happens is when the speed warning comes, it actually shows there, which I'll show you when driving the car. This is obviously for the wipers. The wipers work really nicely. Lot of spray on offer. Yeah, plenty of spray on offer. Let's do one thing. Let's see the rear wiper as well. And there you see, that is the rear wiper of the car. Yeah, that also works pretty nicely. Obviously you need a rear wiper, but you know, there's so many cameras on this car. Why would you even need it? Now it gets a Bose sound system. What you're going to do is we're going to play a radio right away, so you can listen to the audio quality. Audio quality is actually fantastic. It's very nice. The only thing I don't like is the hard plastics. There's so many of them inside this cabin. That said, there's little to fault. But I want to show you another cool trick, which is when you actually turn off the car. Let me turn off the car, okay? Whenever you turn on the car, the swipe it does, okay? Here you see, there it does a full swipe up, which is also very cool. Now, what you're going to do is, we are going to get out of the car because I want to show you how the car actually turns on. Yeah, using the remote function. Sometimes it doesn't work so flawlessly, sometimes it does. So we're just going to roll down the window so you can actually see the car being turned on. And there's little to fault with the cabin because Hyundai has gone ahead and put so many features now. Like, it has an excess of features, a very nice infotainment system, and everything feels nice. I mean, very easy and intuitive somehow. That's super duper awesome indeed. What I particularly like is the air conditioning. It's a chiller, but it's not a dual zone climate control. You can turn on and off the rear AC from here itself, and the AC is obviously a chiller. Certain features in this car really feel premium, although I would have liked if Hyundai would have given it even more features, like an electric tailgate would certainly help. Now we're going to get the key out. This is the key. Okay, let's close the door. Let's lock the car. Here the car is locked. Yeah, okay, actually I have kept the car on only on ignition. Here we turn it off. There the mirror is also closed. Now we're going to try and turn on the car. So in case it works, yeah, there it's turned on. Yeah, you heard that right. With the key, I turned on the car. That is such a fantastic feature in this Hyundai Alcazar. Very useful in the summer. It's so hot right now. It's definitely of great benefit. But how is it to drive? Because this is a 2-liter petrol. Let's get going straight away. Alright, we are all set to go, which means turning off the air conditioning. We are going to unlink to drive modes and we are going to get into sport mode straight away. Okay, we are in sport mode. Into drive, again, this into sport. Yeah, the gearbox into sport. Traction control off. Hazard light off, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, revving the motor. I mean, of course, you can see that the performance is super duper linear in this car. I mean, there's no kick in the pants wheel because this is a naturally aspirated engine. First and foremost, it doesn't share its petrol engine with the Creta. The Creta gets a 1.5 liter NA petrol engine and a 1.4 liter TGDI turbocharged petrol engine. This is a 2 liter engine which is naturally aspirated and shared with the Elantra as well as a Tucson. However, this is not the same engine because this is the 3rd generation version of this engine. It's known as the NU. And that's the reason why it is slightly more refined, more efficient, and also has 7 horsepower more, producing 159 PS of power at 6,500 RPM. Meanwhile, the torque output happens to be 191 Newton meters at 4,500 RPM. And because it doesn't have a turbo, there's no kick in the pants feel. There's no turbo lag as such because obviously it doesn't have a turbocharger. It feels very drivable. It has like punch throughout the rev range, very linear performance, but there's no step up in performance. It's just linear. It doesn't rev very fast either, especially with this torque converter 6-speed gearbox. It doesn't feel the best. Obviously a manual would be even more exciting. With traction control off, you can't feel anything as such. Feels quite vocal. You get onto the gas, it feels vocal, and the gearbox is not the fastest shifting. Yeah, it shifts smoothly for sure, but it's not very fast with shifts. But obviously you've got paddle shifters which you can use. Again, they are also not the fastest in terms of shifts, but the gearing is super duper tall. Very tall gearing on this car. Quite vocal in the high end of the rev range, and red lines around 6,500 RPM. Doesn't feel boomy, doesn't feel coarse at all, but yes, it feels loud. Braking performance obviously is very good. You get rear discs as well, and yeah, stopping power is sure-footed too. Now what we're going to do is we are obviously going to change the cluster mode. First and foremost, I'm going to get into themes and we are going to get into theme B. Here we are. I love the cluster modes. Again, sport mode, left foot on the brake, right foot on the accelerator, revving the motor, and off we go. It doesn't really rev much, 2,000 RPM, and that's it. It's shifting at 6,000 odd RPM. Yeah, there is no manual control of the gearbox as such. The gearing is so tall. Now, it's absolutely obnoxious how tall gearing Hyundai has done on this car. I think in the interest of fuel efficiency. So high-speed stability is actually nice because of the long wheelbase in this car. Yeah, wheelbase is on the longer side or whatever you want to call it. We are going to turn on the driver rear view monitor as well. So long wheelbase certainly helps in keeping this car very stable, and the steering doesn't offer feedback as such. However, it's direct. It inspires confidence as well, but kind of feels artificially weighed up, and the bigger problem is that it actually feels lifeless, to be very honest with you guys. This is not an enthusiast car, plus the added weight. I think it weighs around 80-90 kgs more than the Creta. All this actually makes this car, you know what, not as dynamically agile as a Creta, which itself is not dynamically agile. So you can realize this is more towards comfort than towards, you know, fun handling also. In fact, there's quite a bit of body roll on offer. Yeah, there is quite a bit of body roll on offer as well. Horn, very meek. Yeah, could have been a little bit more, you know, scary. But you know what? Kia is offering dual horns in the Sonet, which is apparently a feature for them. Maybe Hyundai should have also taken a leaf out of Kia's book and added another horn, maybe made it like at least Skoda type, that dual tone melody, whatever. That would have really helped on the highway, since this car is more about highway driving, because people are going to go to places in this car with a lot of people inside. Come on, give me. Okay, it's not really very responsive in terms of gear shift in sport mode, because obviously then it's thinking that you are going to change a gear but you don't decide to do so, and then becomes so freaking vocal as well. Now Hyundai could have actually offered a 1.4 litre turbocharged engine as well, but then the pricing would have also been similar, and then people have it in their mind, bigger engine means better engine, but then fuel economy also declines. This should return somewhere between 7 to 12 kilometers per litre, depending on your driving style, of course. Now there are 6 drive modes on offer. 3 are for the basically terrain modes, which I've already spoken about. We're going to talk about the regular drive modes, for the driving modes, which happens to be Eco, Sport. Yeah, Eco and Sport are different, they're not from Ford, in this car at least. And there's of course a regular drive mode, normal drive mode. Obviously it changes the map every time you change the mode, and whenever you change the mode, basically it performs the best in sport mode. In eco mode, it doesn't feel sluggish as such. It performs decently well in eco mode as well, so you're not going to complain as such. But in sport mode, you can feel the engine feels alive, but just doesn't offer you the kick in the pants feel. And we're going to make a quick stop so that I can change the modes again, the cluster mode. It's so much fun. And there, sport, revving the motor, there's the camera turn on, and off we go. Like, I have to admit, the engine gets the job done, but between the petrol and the diesel, I'll actually prefer the less powerful but the more torquey diesel engine, because more efficient, feels more slick, and definitely it's not faster, but still more drivable as such. Now this is a very fast car. How is this a fast car? Because this engine gives it great performance, outright performance. Definitely, it goes from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in a claim 9.5 seconds, which makes it very quick in the segment. And in this segment, not many people are focused on petrol. Tata obviously doesn't offer a petrol version of the Safari. However, MG does offer a petrol engine, but that could be a little gas guzzling. This is also going to be gas guzzling, of course. Petrol price at rupees 104 or something of that sort. Don't buy a petrol powered SUV, period. Get the diesel. And the price difference between the petrol and the diesel is just rupees 60,000, not much, because this is a bigger engine obviously, so the premium for diesel is actually quite reduced here. So I'm just saying, get the diesel. I know it's a small diesel engine. This has much more power, it has less torque of course, but feels faster, is faster throughout the range. But the diesel actually feels faster, because the diesel is of course a diesel is a diesel is a diesel is a diesel, and you cannot beat the diesel torque ever. That is how good the diesel torque is. So that's it. We're just going to stop again. Yeah, we are. Okay. I like the brakes. The tires offer a decent amount of grip as well, and we're again going to change the cluster mode. This cluster mode is so much fun. To the cluster mode, which I like the most, to be very honest with you guys. And here we're going to get the driver review monitor on. Revving the motor, revs till 2000 RPM, and off we go. Launch is very sluggish. It doesn't get off so quickly, as fast as I would expect. Now, the Alcazar is available in 18 variants actually, and this is priced at 23.86 lakhs. This is the top end petrol. Yes, this is the top end petrol. Is priced at 23.86 lakhs on road Mumbai. The base variant of the Alcazar, which happens to be the petrol manual, is priced at rupees 19.53 lakhs, and the diesel is priced at 24.44 lakhs, the top end diesel. So you see the price range is actually on the premium side, because Hyundai has decided we are not going to be offering a lower trim of the Alcazar. We're only going to be offering a higher trim, and because of this, all the trims which are on the higher side with lot of features on offer definitely results in the Alcazar being priced at a premium. But then you compare it to its rivals like the Safari, which doesn't get a petrol engine, and of course the MG Hector Plus, then you realize that the Alcazar is a better package and an easier to drive package as well, because obviously the steering is light, although not feelsome, but still this is a very easy car to drive for people who don't really like driving as such or pushing their cars around corners and want to fill the car with 6 people and luggage. This is a car which will actually suffice for going the distance, although the last row is best for children, and usually you want to punish your children for not finishing your homework or their homework, you just put them in the last row, and then that also suffices. I think it's a multiple practical and definitely positive outlook in this car. Around the corners, body roll of course present in plenty, but then that's something you would definitely expect from a car which is softly sprung, and even more softly sprung when compared to the Creta. So as I see it, the Alcazar is a fantastic all-round package for those who are looking for something which is comfortable, practical, and loaded with a ton of features, because This car's got so many features. Every time you turn the indicator on, you realize you've paid your money's worth, and that is how I'm going to sum this up. If you like this vlog, make sure to give the thumbs up, that's the like button, and also subscribe to the channel. But before we're going to end this vlog, I'm going to take a U-turn just to show you how easy it is to take a U-turn. In any Hyundai car, it's actually very easy to take a U-turn because the steering is super duper light. It's so freaking light. The controls are light. I mean, everything is so light. If this was a manual, you get a petrol manual as well. If this was a manual, you would still be like baffled to know that the clutch is super light, the gearbox is also smooth shifting and whatnot. So that is a positive outlook again when we look at the Alcazar in terms of how easy this car is in terms of driving. Even the features, even the way you tumble down the second row of seats, it's so freaking easy, so convenient as well. The only thing I hoped for was maybe they should have offered a turbocharged petrol engine in this car, because there is no step up in performance. You're like, you're waiting, okay, abhi kuch hoga, but kabhi kuch hota hi nahi hai, because there is no turbocharger sitting there to give you a boost. And now boost is the secret of my energy, and boost is the secret of every car's energy. And that's okay. I was going to show you how easy it is to turn, and that, my friends, is the end of this vlog. Bye bye.